Hello, welcome back. I look like I'm about to start broadcasting for some NASCAR thing. I don't know if you guys can even hear me. How are you? Welcome to a Mover Mailbag. I'm Mover. It's my mailbag. There's not a lot of emails this time, so it's going to be a lot of the questions from you. But before we get started, the thing that I want to announce is that you could win this headset. This is God, I'm yelling. A Lightspeed Zulu 3. It's the one I've been using. Lightspeed provided this to me way back at the beginning of my helicopter training, which I greatly appreciate. And they said, hey, Mover, your people might want one, and we're going to give this away. So if you look in the description, you see a link, and that link goes to this. Right there, the Lightspeed No Resolutions Required giveaway. We're putting the win in winter with a special month-long giveaway. Lightspeed's excited to partner with friend of the company. Hey, that's me. I've got a friend. That's awesome. I finally have friends. Oh man, I'm doing creepy Joe Biden whispering. CW Lemoyne from the YouTube with the series Mondays with Mover, although this is Mover Mailbag. I haven't done a Mondays with Mover lately. I probably should. Winner giveaway. You can get a Lightspeed Zulu 3. The contest starts today. And you probably should click on the giveaway terms and all that stuff because that's important. However, all you have to do is put your name in your email, and the special prize code is, get this, it's Mover. Yep, it's Mover. So, I like it. It's not this headset because this one's mine. You can't have it. Hold on, let me bring you back to the normal one. You can't have this. This is mine. However, I've enjoyed it. I've used it the entire time, even though Lester flies with the helmet. I don't really do that. But it's got this little thing for A&R, Bluetooth. I've called people. So you've seen, and I've called like Stephanie that time I went to go fly with them, and I'm like, hey, the winds are bad. I'm gonna have to hold for a little while. You guys couldn't hear. So what's interesting though is when it records, you can't hear it because it doesn't come over the intercom. It's just whoever the person talking is. I called Neil that time. I landed in his backyard. So it's got that. Plus you can listen to music, and it cuts out every time ATC talks to you. So that's nice. Kind of keeps you occupied. And then it's got the headset. It's a little flexible cable, so it doesn't get wrapped up or anything. So it's really nice. And people ask how I record. This is how I record, by the way. This is a Pilot USA splitter. It goes to one of these. And now the way I record, since people have asked, I bought these Rode wireless go-to microphones. And you can plug this into here. It records it on here. And then I just go back to the video and sync. Because you can plug. Now we're getting some academics on how I record stuff. There's a GoPro adapter for like this camera, the 8 and the 9. However, the Max, which is this, doesn't work. You can't plug in audio. So the only way to get audio with a Max is to have an external source like this. And this one's cool too because if you're like interviewing people, it comes with two of them and they're wireless. So you can have it wireless to a camera or just have it record on the actual how you doing itself. Shanghai, what's up, man? Yeah, Shanghai, dude, you definitely need a microphone. We got to get you back on the channel, but with a microphone. But anyway, there you go. Links in the description. Check it out. It's from January 15th to January 22nd. The winner will be announced on the 25th. So you get a week. And that's their policy. So 1 week. I'll try to annoy you with it on the next couple of videos. But there we go. So anyway, hope everybody's doing well. Obviously, it's Saturday. I flew this week. I flew twice. I was scheduled 4 times and flew twice. But it just is what it is. It was not my Finney flight. I said I was going to make that my Finney flight, but I don't think it is. I think I'm going to go back at the end of the month and actually do a real Finney flight. So if you guys follow me on the gram, you saw my not so happy picture because taxiing out, my nose wheel steering failed as I was leading a 4v10 against the F-22s, I was leading the 10 ship. And of course, you do all that planning, you do all the stuff, mission plan, brief, it's like 3 briefs you have to give. And you get to the jet and you're like, all right, finally get to see my plan in action. This is awesome. Taxi out, the nose wheel steering doesn't work. And I learned something about the aircraft. Apparently, the right engine start button, the igniters, were still firing because the button stuck intermittently. So every 30 seconds, the igniters would start firing again, which when the igniters are firing, it inhibits nose wheel steering because it's connected to this little sending unit. The reason for that is when you're an afterburner in the T-38, nose wheel steering doesn't work. So because the igniters were firing, it thought, well, hey, afterburner must be going in this little sending unit. Because remember, this is 1950s technology. And so the nose wheel steering would quit working. So I couldn't make these 90-degree turns. And when you have a nose wheel steering failure, you have to stop and get towed back. So I wasn't able to go to a spare or anything like that. Anyway, yeah. So let's see. Melvin says, wait, you're quitting T-38s. I'd call it fired. They fixed the glitch. So I've talked about this a lot. Basically, Hurricane Michael happened, and they, moved the F-22s and T-38s to Tyndall. And then basically, AFRIC said we didn't want to be in the T-38 mission anymore. So even though the T-38s are going to stay because we were part of the TUFITs, we were supporting the active duty, our positions went unfunded. And as of January 30th, our positions just ceased to exist. So that's it. We're kind of, that's the end of the road. So there are some options. I'm still working, but I don't really want to talk about anything until I know for sure what's going to happen, which right now I don't. I have no idea. We're 2 weeks out, and I still have no idea what's going to happen. Anyway, I want to be a pilot when I get older. Any tips? Study. Get good grades in school. Depending on your age, Civil Air Patrol, Junior ROTC, those are all good programs. Civil Air Patrol has a lot of good cadet programs that you can do. But try to fly as much as you can and just enjoy it. You have to sign away your likeness if you win. I don't know about that. You're just giving them your email address. How else are they going to tell you that, you won? Hey, Mover, will we see more flights with Stephanie? Yes. Yes. In fact, they've got to go pick up a helicopter at some point. I'm hoping to go with them if the timing works out. But yeah, sure. Anyway, back to the emails. Let's see what we got here. This first one comes from John. It's called Extraction. Hey, Mover, any chance you could set aside your disinterest in flying a C-130, then borrow one and fly it down to Australia and extract a bunch of us? This country has lost its way since COVID hit. Is a pale, fearful, xenophobic shadow of its fun-loving former self. Air Force has C-130, so you can probably sneak it in, no worries. Love the channel. I stumbled across it researching info for a couple of aviation-based film scripts I'm writing and been hooked. Oh, cool. Love your honesty and thought your 2021 recap video was amazing, showing a side of fighter pilot life I would have never known existed. Just grabbed your Spectre books on Amazon. Can't wait to get stuck into them. Keep up the good work, John. Man, I'm sorry to hear that. I really am. Australia is a great country. It seems like you get a good perspective on American politics sometimes by watching some of the Australian outlets, but it's a shame to see what's been going on over there. And again, we're only seeing this through the soda straw of the media. So I don't know what's actually happening on the ground, but if it's, even 10% of the stuff that we've seen, it's crazy. It's scary. This is just not how we should be doing business. So I hope that, you guys are able to find a peaceful way out of this mess. So anyway, it is very scary. Let's see here. Melvin says, I'm a CAP airman. It's awesome. I definitely recommend it to someone interested in aviation or the Air Force, military in general, and many opportunities, including flying academies, etc. Exactly. And actually, I looked at Black Lake says thoughts on CAP. I looked at it's called a CAP wrap job. The only problem for me, it still might be a possibility, but it's a non-flying Cat E, so you're actually in the individual, the IRR individual ready reserve. So you're not eligible for like insurance and stuff. You're just getting points, no pay. Which at this point in my career, I'm just not sure. I'd rather get something for the health benefits and the health insurance because obviously that's pretty expensive. But it sounds like a great program. I was really excited with the idea of it, and may still do it. I just don't know. I really think it's a good mission, and I think what they're doing is pretty cool. Lester is a Civil Air Patrol guy, which, by the way, people have asked about that. I guess there was a helicopter crash in Lafourche Parish yesterday, which is unfortunate because it was a fatal mishap with a Bell 407. Fatal crash. Was not Lester. Was a company out in Terrebonne Parish. They're still doing recovery efforts, which sucks. So that's 2 407s we've lost this year in the area. Or was that December? No, I guess that was last year. So 2 in the last month, I guess, but 2021 and 2022 officially. Next time I hear someone complain about the TSA, I'm going to ask them to look up the requirements for a FAA flight physical. Not sure I understand that question or statement. I just don't know. Jim says, how about teaching at Randolph? I could use a Boudin source in San Antonio. Yeah, I don't know. You mean teaching at Pitt? That'd be tough. I think that would be a tough, to stay current and the commute there and stuff. I think that would be a little tough. Not undoable, but definitely tough. Lynn asks, enjoyed your trailer video. Any updates? So, for those of you not in the CW Lemoyne, what is it called? Book discussions group that I made, I posted a trailer teaser for Absolute Vengeance yesterday to that group. I had just been messing around. I've got a subscription to Envato Elements, which I usually use for like Adobe templates, and that's how I made the channel trailer and all that stuff. So I was like, well, let me make something for Absolute Vengeance because I think that's the next project, is trying to make that into a movie. So I made a trailer / teaser based on the screenplay that I made. And it lacks a lot of context, because he basically assumes what's going on. But it was a pretty cool. I used it. Zayd Wolf actually did a version of Shout, but with a female singer. I forgot her name, and it really goes well with the Absolute Vengeance theme. I had to move some stuff around, obviously a little bit. Some of it's hokey because, it's stock footage. It's not me out there. It's not somebody else. It's just stock footage, which is funny because, I was looking at it. It's ripe for ruining because one of the guys, he's got this tactical gear and he's opening up the rifle and stuff. And the rifle looks pretty legit, but his gear is like airsoft. He's wearing a fanny pack, like a tactical fanny pack. Like he doesn't have a battle belt or anything. So I was laughing at that. But it's if you guys look, it's actually based off of the screenplay that I wrote, which is not 100% going to be. That's a warning now. It's not based on the book, and the reason for that is simply because number one, the book, it would be too long of a movie because you want to keep it around 120 pages for screenplay, which is about 2 hours. But second, we wanted to keep it self-contained, so unfortunately Odin is not going to be a part of it. At least in this version that we're writing now. I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, there's several versions of that, but I also changed some details about Alex Shepard, and changed some locations, and that's all I'll say about that. So, like with everything else, the book's always better than the movie, but I think we're doing a good job in trying to stay true to the original theme, at least what it was meant to be, when I wrote it. And I'm the one writing the script, so it's not like, at least right now, I'm the one writing the script. Who knows what's going to happen later on if it ever gets picked up at all, but at least it's a starting point. So anyway, back to the emails, then we'll come back to your questions. This is from a flight doc. Came across your channel recently about a year and a half ago. I was finishing up my own journey and getting my PPL. I was long deferred dream of mine. Long story over a beer at the bar. Anyway, I noticed a lot of your questions from viewers seem to surround how to be a pilot, specifically a fighter pilot with medical conditions. and I'm currently pretty familiar with the ins and outs of not only keeping guys like you flying, but also myself as well, and those wishing to get in the air. Applaud your efforts to get these guys and gals out. Most fighter pilots hate going to the flight dock. I thought I'd come to you as I have throughout my career. So if you ever need any help answering those questions, please feel free to reach out. Although each case is different, I can probably answer. So happy to feel free to reach out. P.S. I was the flight doc for Lieutenant Smits when he was in the 4AS at McCord. We called him Smitty back then. He was a special guy and a great airman. Pleasure and honor to have served with him. Thanks for doing him justice in the mishap review you did on your channel. Cheers and keep up the great work with your channel. He is a chief of Air Medical Services. So thank you, sir. And yeah, very tragic what happened to Mezer. Very sad. This comes from Bruce. I've heard you talk about NVGs and fighters. I used NVGs during OIF. Are they different? We had to distance focus and look down like bifocals to read instruments, look up from out the windshield. We couldn't look down inside like I've heard you guys talk about. No, that's correct. They are different. I mean, they're a different model, depending on what generation you're talking about. And now they've got panoramic views. They've got the quad tubes, but actually they're white phosphorus is what they don't wear panoramic. They have white phosphorus now. But yeah, so you'd be able to look through the HUD because that was focused to infinity. In fact, you could focus them on the HUD, but you couldn't look at the instruments, so you'd have to look underneath. And that was like when Stinky was talking about his mishap. That's one of the things that made it more difficult because now you're having to look under the goggles to see the instruments and make sense of them. This one's from Michael. Hey, Mover, recently saw your video regarding being a gamer and flying real aircraft. I must say, we sort of had the same path. I'm only 1 year older than you, but I flew the exact same sims and had been in virtual squadrons. Who knows? Maybe we had a dogfight or two on the Jane's Combat Net servers. Boy, that brings back memories. I didn't lose, though. Actually, I take that back. I did, because I resigned in disgrace one time as a dramatic 14-year-old because I was the training officer and lost. I've had a very avid flight enthusiast. I've been a very avid flight enthusiast thanks to my dad. He was an airline pilot and he did hold several ratings for single and double prop aircraft. He was also in the Air Force as a tech on the Minuteman missiles. Minuteman. For my 14th birthday, my grandparents gave me a 2-hour flight in a Cessna 172 from the local Aero Club. Feeling of flying is just something I can't describe. Unfortunately, it wasn't something they could afford easily. It had been my second flight ever, the first being with my dad while he was testing safety procedures. Truly happy you were able to pursue your dream. I wish I could say the same for myself. Didn't have the discipline to stay on track and was easily distracted. Lack of funds didn't help. I joined the Marines a year out of high school, pursued the Boost program, and even prepared for MFATs. Deployments and being the go-to guy in 2834 MOS hampered things. I don't blame anyone but myself. Long story short, it's 2010. I'm medically discharged, a low-level quadriplegic, and now making aircraft for games, hoping to inspire the youth as we were inspired. Thanks for sharing your childhood memories, Mike, a.k.a. Rudell. Man, that does sound really familiar. He's an art director. That's pretty cool. Sim guy. It's from Andrew. Love the channel. Like you played a lot of Nova Logic F-22 Lightning growing up and have good memories of playing it with my dad. My dad was never a gamer. That would have been cool. I wonder if you want to do a Ruin React video to it sometime. Yeah, you could do that. I was thinking about that, about doing a nostalgia video, just going over all the Jane stuff. I kind of did that in the 14-year-old gamer, but anyway. Let's see here. Lee. Hi, Mover. On a recent mailbag, you mentioned that you wear a Garmin GPS watch. So do I, and I love it. In particular, I really appreciate the compatible smartphone apps for activities like navigation and hiking. That got me thinking. Do military personnel have special smartphone apps that help them complete their missions? Are they classified, or do you sometimes use commercial apps? No. It was weird. Them buying the watch thing was a real weird thing because they didn't buy the one that had the pulse ox, which I thought would have been a little bit more helpful. I now have that watch. I have a Garmin 6 Sapphire because my 5 basically quit working. I mean, the middle button quit working, and then it started doing this triangle thing when I would use it to log workouts and stuff. But no, there are no special apps. We used it for a precise GPS time hack, and that's pretty much it. Like, it wasn't whatever. Thanks for all the amazing content. It's fascinating stuff, highly motivational. My son is 16 years old, and every day I remind him to make them tell you no. Awesome. Wish you continued success. Regards, Sully. All right, this is Enemy Within, You're Not Alone. I think this is probably more appropriate for personal, so we won't read this one, but I do appreciate the email. All right, this is from Andy, and in fact, I kind of went back and forth with Andy on this because I was curious about his question. This is a question I didn't think of an hour or two ago when you had the live stream, so this was last week. Although I'm not seeking a career in the military, I'm an accounting student that believes in Dave Ramsey's ways of handling money. Basically, it's to get rid of types of debt except mortgages and credit cards, which is probably not the way you handle money, considering you take out car loans to buy expensive cars. I recently came across a clip of Dave Ramsey's show in which he said that financial responsibility is the third leading cause of dishonorable discharge, with being a major in the Navy. How is this not a problem for you? Are there guidelines on how much debt an officer can carry? If there are, could you share those guidelines in a video or move from Mailbag live stream? Because so many people look to you for advice on starting a career as a military aviator. Or if you recommend Dave Ramsey's ways of handling money for others in the military, I would really like that. So I responded to Andy because I was curious of why he thought I was saddled with debt. You know, I mean, it is possible to buy vehicles with cash. I mean, it is a thing, especially, or buying them with a low interest rate and then paying it off, or, you know, using them as an income generation source, or there's a whole lot of ways beyond just what Dave Ramsey says. So to answer your question on a couple levels, one, beyond what, you know, I emailed you back about, one, so to lose your security clearance, right? The whole thing with debt and being leveraged and stuff like that is with gambling. It's all kind of in the same boat. It's about your SF-86, your security clearance, which I guess is equipped now, it's a security clearance questionnaire. It's about foreign powers, foreign intelligence services, being able to leverage you. So if you're like in a whole bunch of debt, then it is possible for a foreign intelligence service to come in and offer you money and then buy your loyalty and then therefore get the secrets of the country. On the same note, if you have a very low credit score, it is likely that you might not be trustworthy in the eyes of the government. That's the way they look at it. Whether it's true or not, you may have had bad, whatever. It's not insurmountable. It's not something that is an automatic deal breaker. It's just something that requires more investigation. I don't know what Dave Ramsey's talking about financial irresponsibility as the third leading cause of dishonorable discharge, because a dishonorable discharge usually means you've some kind of Article 15. So I don't know. I don't have the data on that. I don't know where he's getting that from. I have not personally seen that in my career. That sounds more like, you know, the junior enlisted that go take a 21% interest loan on a car, you know, at the used car lot right outside the gate or something like that. You know, unable to afford it. They don't make the payment to get repossessed, stuff like that. I don't know. Again, don't know. As far as Dave Ramsey, it's a great principle. I think it's very basic. I think it's something that, yeah, it's a good idea, you know, especially if you're new to managing money and you don't know any better and you want just a basic guideline that'll get you through. Sure. I think there's a lot more to financial planning and financial management than just debt is bad, the end, whatever. You can use assets in businesses to make money at low interest rates. You can borrow against assets. There are different tools you can make to actually make money with debt. It's not binary in my mind. It's not my expertise. I'm just telling you from my perspective, you know, I don't have a lot of debt. That's a false statement. I have a high credit score, and I'm in no position whatsoever to even worry about something like this personally. Also, I'm a major in the Air Force. I was a lieutenant commander in the Navy. So there you go. Let's go back to the comments because I'm sure they're kicking by now. I'm a sergeant major. I love it. Sergeant Major Zach Carey. Andre says, hey, Mover, you should take a look at the Brazilian Air Force did with the old F-5E together with the Embraer and Elbit from Israel. Okay, cool. We'll have to take a look at that. All right, so let's go back up and read some of these comments that I've been missing out on. And again, I'm sorry if I miss your comment. It happens, you know, unless you do the super chat thing, which pops it up, so to speak. But somebody in the last comments was like, you're afraid and avoiding comments. I'm not afraid of anything, dude. If you're a douchebag, I'll tell you you're a douchebag and I'll answer your question. However, that doesn't mean I see it. I'm using StreamYard, so it's not like a live scroll, and the comments move quickly. So anyway, let's see. Scrolling back up. Have you ever had a chance to fly sailplanes? No. It's the most peaceful flying you can imagine. Yeah, it's kind of like when the engine quits, it gets really quiet. Except you never have the engine in the first place. Here we go. Lemoyne plus Louisiana equals French ancestry from Canada. How's your French? Salutation de la ville de Quebec. Yeah, no, I'm not. I can't do that. Sorry. I took French in college and in high school, and I know how to say "Est-ce que je peux aller à la salle de bain?" because she wouldn't let me go to the bathroom unless I said "en français." And so after she'd say that, she would say "Oui, tu peux," and I'd say "No, tu peux." Dad jokes at 15. What do we got here? Let's see. Thank you for your videos. You've inspired me recently along with the Make Them Tell You No mindset. I just finished my AFROTC application at my interview soon. Got the Spectre Vox set. Thank you. Awesome. Yeah, today is the last day to get the Spectre Series container set, books 1 through 4 for $1. After that, it goes back to the normal price of $10. Commander Gato. Is that a cat? Have you ever considered any of the IL-2 Great Battle series? Not as realistic as DCS? No, not really. Is the 99 cents for your first 4 books still available? Yes. Today is the last day. Will you consider keeping the I can't even talk. I saw the will you consider keeping the Hellcat since production is ending? I guess I'm gonna have to get like a beater. I've put 12,000 miles on that thing since I got it, and I haven't done any videos with it, so I need to, yeah. Is the fighter pilot meme review series gonna come back? I will have to think about that, because that's when I gotta find friendly memes, because last time is when the whole clout chasing thing happened, and I realized some of that community can be a little bit toxic. So maybe. Do you still have plans to purchase an airplane? Maybe. I'm not gonna say yes, I'm not gonna say no, because the answer is maybe. I already asked this, but I really need to answer quick. Can we eat the headset if we win? I mean, I don't see why not. It's probably fibrous. But I'm not going to say yes or no because I don't want to get sued. So, because you got to have a warning label on coffee now. Was you ever, oh boy, in the Civil Air Patrol in the 90s? No. I was in the Sea Cadets in the 90s. I did that for about 6 to 9 months. Active duty A-10 crew chief here, Bert. Joining the CAP to fly their 2019 C-172 with a Garmin 1000, and I will also be their maintenance officer. Looking forward to flying in and out of the Air Force base I work at. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Ever think about flying vintage military aircraft? Sure. Did you participate in the Iraq War? Yes. Was thinking about the Odin gear. I don't know what that means, but yeah, Odin won't be in the film as of this iteration. There's no. I had to take that out when I wrote this version of the script. It does not have Odin. Tactical fanny pack is true Chad energy. Yeah, it just. I don't know, man. It's yeah. All right, Charlie wants to know how he signs up, so here we go again. You can click the link in the description, and you put your name, email, and type mover in that container on the right. Then check the box, so to speak, and then hit submit. Can a pilot in the military fly his jet whenever he wants, or only for missions? Only for missions. Man, I wish. Because there is no your jet. It's whatever's on the schedule. Sometimes they let you take a jet and go cross-country, which is some of the most fun I've ever had. But you don't just willy-nilly do whatever you want. There's no shame in carrying a tactical fanny pack. I carried my off-duty backup weapon in one for years. And John, I hate to admit it, but I used to too. I used to carry a Glock. God, which one? 33? Is that the 357 SIG version? I used to carry my Glock, the little baby Glock. Yeah, it's a 33 because it's a 27 and a 33. I used to carry the baby Glock in a fanny pack and hook my dog's leashes to the fanny pack. And I did that until Kaiser got too big and strong and it broke the plastic belt buckle, and then I never did it again. But that's when I lived in Homestead. It's sketchy sometimes depending on where you run. Hey, they still do that Texas Air Aces thing that you did when you were a teen? No. They, unfortunately, in 2003, they had the first of two mishaps where the wing spar failed, and I think they went out of business shortly after the second one. I've actually got one more video to share with you guys on that. That's going to be 15-year-old gamer versus real Air Force pilot, because I got to fight a real fighter pilot on the last one. But you could do Air Combat USA. That still exists, I'm pretty sure. And I think there's some places in Vegas and Mesa, Arizona. Accident on the 14th, Lafourche Parish. Yep, that's true. We talked about that earlier. I like the nostalgia video game idea. Yeah, it should be fun. I mean, we can go over clips from all the games that I played when I was a youngin'. Oh, here's one. Cars. I love the channel, especially the move to helicopters, so I'm in a quandary. Corvette C6 or C7. I love a C8, but it's out of my means. Dude, the C8, like, what the hell? People are paying 30 and 40 grand over MSRP for used base model Corvettes. Like, what is this world we live in? Like, I've seen even the C7s are overpriced. They're going for more than they were new. Like, this is crazy. I have seen some reasonably priced C6s, Z06s. Just make sure, the lifter thing, has been addressed. But I guess my question back to you is, what are you using it for? Like, if I were going to get a track car, I'd get a Z06 because they're 3,000 pounds-ish, 3,100. And, you can build that motor up and, it's good. In fact, I've been thinking about doing that because I can't get a ZL1 1LE. Like, you just can't order them. I mean, can't get a 1LE, can't be on the list for a Z06. What are you going to do? If I'm going to daily drive, I'd get a C7, I mean, it depends on what I would not track a C7 Z06 unless it's like a newer one because of the cooling issues. But the manuals, I guess, don't have the problems. But, you look at the interior C6 versus C7. The C7 is way nicer. But, a C7 Grand Sport's a good track car. But I don't know. It just depends on what you're trying to do. Mover, you are me that didn't let them screw you. Okay. Hey, Mover, I've never been to your live presentation. Welcome. This is Chat Amongst Friends. You convey a cool message to young people and channel. Super interesting. Thank you. I try. I was told eyesight. It just depends. I mean, it's 20... I think now it's just correctable to 20/20. There's a diopter limit, so... is it hard, so to speak, to have a girlfriend in your career? Probably. Yeah, probably. I mean, a lot of people do. They get married. I mean, have families and stuff. It just depends on what you have time for, what you make priorities for, and really how how much game you got. I don't know. Andrew says, sorry for the assumptions. No worries, Andrew. Hiya, Mover. What authors were you inspired to do your stories on the Spectre series? Vince Flynn. A little bit of Brad Thor. Brad Thor, I like reading his stuff, but he's a little bit more flowery than I like. Most of my inspiration was from Vince Flynn because I liked how he wrote, like, direct. Like, he wasn't like, oh, and then the wind blew through the, white curtains, and it was such... Like, he doesn't describe all this crap. He's just like, Mitch Rapp picked up the rifle, aimed, fired, killed the guy. Next. Like, it's very which keeps the action moving, and the short chapters make you feel like you're really going through a lot of stuff. And that's what I tried. My chapters are only like 1,000 to 2,000 words. That's it. So you feel like you're making a lot of progress because the story just moves so quickly. And I'm not very descriptive. And I got better about it too. Like the first book, I was like trying to I was trying to describe the weapon to the nth degree, and then as I got better at it or lazier at it, I would just describe what's happening and let the reader. In fact, physical descriptions. If you notice, I don't give a lot of physical descriptions in my books, with a very few exceptions, like one or two. Like I don't, other than gender, like race, physical description. I leave it up to the reader. I let them decide what every character looks like. I'm a major, so I haven't seen anyone ask this, but what rank are you in the Air Force? I'm a major. Steve says Tom Clancy. That is wrong. I've never read a Tom Clancy book, and that's just because they're this thick. I've just looked at it going, I don't know. If I buy your books from Audible, do you get a good portion of the money? I get like 30 something percent. It's not much because you remember the narrator guy gets, his share, and then Audible gets a whole bunch. So, yeah. Mark says, "How's it, dude? Love your show. Keep up the great content." Mark from Cape Town, South Africa. Hope you guys are COVID free now. I would like to become a fighter pilot, but my country doesn't own any fighter jets. I live in the European Union. What should I do? Oof. What does your country have? I mean, you should want to serve your country. But, I mean, the only other option you have is to become a citizen of another country and then, apply and become an officer and become a pilot through that. Hi, Mover. I know you're a big Corvette guy, but I believe that you really want a driver's car. You get a manual Porsche 911. Nothing handles like a 911. You should test drive one. It's funny. We went and looked at a buddy of mine who's a Porsche guy. We looked at a Cayman GT4 at a lot. It was a 2016, and that thing was 105 grand. And I mean, it's a nice looking car, but I mean, gee, the prices are stupid right now. I actually entertain the idea, like a 718. I was like, yeah, I like the 718, the way it looks and stuff, but Porsche won't let you order one unless you're like super loyal, and GT4 for sure you're not going to get. So the Corvette just outperforms, just the base model. Mine does. I have a ZR1. Let's see. Mover, will you ruin Into the Sun? It's a great, terrible F-16 movie. Sure. Sure. What's your take on that YouTuber that jumped out of his plane after alleged engine failure? We talked about this last week. I mean, I let the investigation do what the investigation's going to do. I saw a picture yesterday that somebody took screenshots that he had fire extinguisher bottles in his pants, like in his pant legs, like each one. I mean, I don't know. I I think some of those extreme dudes are kind of weird in the first place, and then he does this, and it's like, okay, dude, whatever. Do what you got to do, man. Um, Parlez-vous, unable. Would you like to fly a V-22 Osprey? Not particularly, no. I mean, I do it once, but like forever, no. Oh, cool. Hey, Mover, I'm getting ready to start helicopter flight school this fall. What headset would you recommend to get through school and start my career? Well, I'm glad you asked. And I'm not just saying that. This has been a very good headset for me. Like it's very quiet for a helicopter. So, you know, put your name in or win one. Should be fun. I'm your biggest fan. Learned a lot from you. My favorite story is a lightning strike. Do you have any more crazy mishap stories? I got a couple. I don't have a lot, but I mean, I've got a couple. I was just watching more helicopter training with Lester. Yeah, that video was back in early December, and that's how long it's been since I've flown. Because right after that, I got the upper respiratory infection. Then it was Christmas. Then I got COVID. I mean, just it's always something. What's Lemoyne Racing? I sponsored Bobby Dale Earnhardt and Arca truck. It has a Folds of Honor decal on it with my.com. It's nothing. I mean, I'd love it to be something. I'd love to go be a NASCAR driver or something, but a fan actually had that made and sent it to me because I do track days in the Corvette. Ram says, you motivated me to get back on track after I initially got passed up for pilot. Found out yesterday I was selected to attend UPT. Thank you for all your content. Yeah, there we go. See? Make them tell you no. Don't just give up. Make it happen. FYI, Icon offers free test flights and a one-week conversion course for fixed-wing, non-C-rated pilots. Check out their website. They won't be able to hook you up in New Orleans for a free test flight. Okay. Hot chick. Amen. Mover, you're quite amazing author. Quite an amazing author. Thank you. Thinking of doing a story series, but want to know what tips you have. Just write. Just start writing, man. That's the biggest hurdle. Is like you sit down, you're like, I don't feel like it right now. Just start writing, and then a lot of people edit. Just no, edit after. Just do all your writing. Let it sit for a little while, then go back and edit it. I'm telling you, that's what works. Any advice for someone who loves flying but is scared to death of heights? I don't think the two correlate. Like I've heard of people being scared of heights that become pilots because you're feeling in control. You're not like standing at the edge of a building looking off going, holy crap. I just think, go do it. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll be. Do you like cats? Have dogs. That's all I'll say about that. Have you thought about being a crop duster? No. T-Bear does. T-Bear is a crop duster. He does that. He feels like it's close air support against bugs. But no, I haven't personally done it. Let's see here. So many. I'm so far behind on this. Odin versus Alice. Any thoughts? What is Alice? Mover. When Hot Blondes ask questions, you're right. Jeez Louise. Have you ever been to Australia? No, I've not. I'd love to go. Talk about hot blondes. I mean, what was the? I can't even think of her name. Um, she's Australian. She played Harley Quinn. One of you guys will know it. We'll get back to that. Do pilots prefer the quad tubes or the dual tubes? I don't think. See, I don't know. I think they're using white phosphorus dual tubes. I don't think they're actually flying with the quad tubes. Mover, after initially getting passed up for UPT as a cadet, you motivated me. Oh, sorry, this is the same comment. You just rewrote it. But awesome. Good job. Got your book set. Have to figure out how these ebooks work. Worst case, I'll need this ebook reader thing. Keep up the great work. Help me a lot. Those are for times. Thanks. Any aircraft you would love to fly but never got the chance? A-10, F-22. Have you seen the Trevor Jacob disgrace video? Oh, yeah. I've seen all that stuff. Either 31 or 32. What does that mean? Hey, Mover. I live in Gonzales. Enjoy watching. I don't really fly that well. I mean, sometimes we do. New Orleans is sketchy. Well, ain't that the truth? Any plans to go back to the airlines? We'll see. Did you see the prototype for the new gen fighter that is... No, I have not. Are you still affiliated with the airlines? Yes. My wife and I love Mover Ruins movie series. It's very entertaining. We get inspiration for new movies to watch. We didn't know Executive Decision before, but now it's our favorite movie. That's funny. That's awesome. That's really cool. When is your next Mover Ruins movie? So I think this week, since everybody keeps asking what happened, I'll do another Ace Combat one because we got to finish that. And those are fairly easy to make. Like the problem with Mover Ruins movies, and I've said this before, if it's a movie I haven't seen, or if there aren't like specific clips, it's very difficult because you have to sit down for 2 hours, watch the thing, comment on the thing, do all the stuff, and then now you have to go back and edit 2 hours. So just it's a huge time requirement to do it. So I prefer like the short clips that I'm like, oh, it's just the one scene. This is easy. Even that IMAX fighter pilot thing was only a 45-minute deal. It wasn't a very long movie. Can we see more videos? Sure. I mean, yeah. Just it's not a very those they're not very popular videos, but yeah. Mover, what do you think about contractors like Top Aces? Would you fly for one? Absolutely. And hopefully that is the next step, is to find something like that to fly something cool. I mean, these contractors are getting awesome, awesome aircraft. And, I love doing Red Air. I've been doing it for, the better part of my career now. So, yeah. Admit it, you're old enough to remember Commodore 64 playing Microprose F-15 games. Nope. Nope. First computer I remember was a 286. We had Apple IIe's in our little elementary school, but and as far as video games, the first thing I got was a Nintendo with Duck Hunt. Stupid dog. Which base was your favorite to fly out of? I mean, you're talking operate out of or cross country. I always loved going to Hill. Hill was great. I just love doing that. How did you get into Krav Maga? Well, there was a fighter pilot in the squadron that was doing it with an Israeli, and he, talked me into it. And I was like, man, this is awesome. Has the fighter circles gotten extremely political like many other MOSs have? Yes. Yeah, for sure. Believe there's a place in Orlando that flies a small Mustang that does combat. I don't have firm information, buddy. Yeah, there was a Warbirds thing, but they got in trouble with the FAA. I don't know what the outcome of that was. What is your weight training routine? Typically, I do the 5-day splits. So like chest one day, back the next, shoulders, traps, and then arms, legs. But I had started doing a little CrossFit in that as well, but I haven't done it since I've been sick. And also running with the doggos. What does correctable to 2020 mean? No, that means you can wear glasses, and you can get your vision 2020 with glasses as long as the diopter's not outside of the limit. Or surgery, right? Chris says you can glasses, contacts, or surgery. Yeah, but contacts, it has to be what they're either hard contacts or you have to be on the soft contact lens program. So it's actually kind of a little bit of a process to fly with contacts. Unlike Tom Clancy, I will spend 20 minutes describing the spark ignition of the number four cylinder for Lycoming engine. Yeah, that's just not for me, man. Did you hear about the guy that flew his last flight in a Viper at age 59? Yeah, Hooter. I know Hooter. I flew with him. He always gave me the great briefings that I even use today. He would say, if you see something, first ask a cool question on the radio, and then if I don't do anything about it, then sing up and be directive and descriptive. So I always loved his ask a cool question first. He always had that. Here's how you be tactful as a wingman. But I always loved flying with Hooter. He was a good guy. Still is a good guy, just not flying anymore. Well, what happened to your reintroduction to the T-38 video? I took it down. It's going to come back. I had taken it down because you talk about fighter squadrons being political, because all the nonsense that happened 2 years ago, 3 years ago now, with the flyby video that I had to take down, that there was nothing illegal about. So I took it down because I didn't want any more waves. And Gono, who was in the video, was trying to find a job. So I didn't want to upset anything that he was working on. So all that's done. It'll probably come back sooner rather than later. Hi, CW. Thanks for your inspiration. Being a father of 4 kids, now getting to be older, searching to get their goals in life. I tell them ever so often, make them tell you no. Hell yeah. I'm sure you've been asked a bunch of times, but opinion on Dale Brown's books. I think I've read one. That's it. Not. I didn't read any more, but seems okay. Are you going to get your CFI and helos? Probably not. In fact, I think the helicopter is being sold at the end of this month. Yep. Happy New Year, Mover. Thank you. I love Vince Flynn, not so much when Kyle Mills took over. What a loss. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Are you at all familiar with motorsport rallying, Mover? I appreciate it's very much a niche sport over on your side of the pond. Very much enjoy the variety or work your channel. Keep it up. I'm not familiar with it at all. I did like the you're breaking the car. You're breaking the car. Medium left video, but that's about it. That's all I know. So long, beard. Till next time, eh? Yeah, every time I go do military stuff, they make me shave it. Which, if I flew contract red air, I could keep it all the time. Hey, Mover. Oh, we already talked about that. Did you have to learn the language in Iraq? No. Hi, Mover. I was wondering what USAF track fighters, tanker, cargo bombers gets the most flying time annually. Flying time? Well, obviously it's cargo bombers. Hi, Mover. Is there a way to get a signed copy of your books? Yeah, we can figure something out if you email me. CWLoin, CWLoin.com. Hey, Mover. What's special about the Block 40 HUD? No, it's the FLIR thing. The terrain, it has the ability to do that terrain following crap. You know, the lantern pod or whatever. Never was a factor for me, at least. Why no officers no longer can fly in military jet like World War I and World War II? What? Not even sure what that question means. Sorry. Watched for a good few minutes before I noticed the lack of beard. Yeah. A little bit of stubble, but I'll probably. So, what's going to happen is I'll have enough stubble in a week, and then I'll shave it to go do my check ride and to go do the Finney flight next at the end of the month. So, yeah. How much performance personality do you see between T-38s given their age, or are they all fairly consistent? They're all fairly consistent. Some jets, like the AOA, won't match the airspeed. Like it'll show on speed when you're really fast or really slow, or it'll show really slow when you're, it has some little quirks like that, especially, a final turn and on final places, you look at AOA. As far as performance, the biggest performance difference will usually be thrust. Like you'll have one jet that's just a hot rod, and you'll be paired with a guy or girl that is in a pig, especially in formation takeoffs. Like I've had it where, I even talked about it in that 2021 video where, my jet was a pig, his was full up, and I just happened to, go to afterburner like a hair late. So his lit immediately, mine was delayed. We end up strung out. And, I've got video of me flying with the DO, and I'm leading it. And I go, I actually pull it back to min AB to let him keep up, and he still can't keep up. It's just is what it is. It's these jets they're old. They're 60-year-old airplanes. Any new interviews coming up? Enjoy hearing the stories. Perhaps a Coast Guard pilot, the best stick wrigglers out there. I do know a Coast Guard guy I could interview, but there are some interviews coming up, just not this week. Maybe next. Hey, CW, just wanted to say thank you for the content. I hope you have a great day. We'll actually be doing more breakdowns of DCS dogfights. It's fascinating hearing insights from an actual pilot. No, yes, maybe. I mean, the problem with doing that is then I get, debriefed by the DCS community that I'm wrong. But I would just have to have somebody to actually dogfight to make it to do it. Overwritten prose is a major turnoff. I say that all the time. I hate it when people just jibber jabber. Just get to the point. Have you killed the F-22 in your 38? Yes, I have. Oh, show. Lightning strike, really? I've been struck by lightning twice. F-16 and F-18. Actually, we might have been struck in a 737 too. Can't remember. So a few times my uncle from L38 was going to get my PPL, but got too expensive. Yeah, I believe that. It is expensive, especially now. He said on his last videos, too many toxic comments when he does them. Armchair pilots. Yeah, I mean it's a mix of that. It's not that's not the only reason. It's just, when you look at cost benefit, they're not very popular videos across the channel. What will YouTube recommends or whatever, and then you get usually it's comments. For whatever reason, people that know more or think they know more, and then the rest of the comments are you should fight growling sidewinder. I mean, that's what it becomes. It becomes, you should do this with this other channel, like it has nothing to do with the video. So, how many headsets are they giving away? Rule say value of giveaway is $3,800. Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. I thought they were only giving away one. Maybe it's because they're doing one a week for like different channels, so maybe it's like total. I don't know. That's a good question. Mover, will we see you fly a twin engine helicopter anytime soon? Possibly. Possibly, especially if we do the HAI thing. Favorite vintage warbird? Well, I'm going to say T-33 just because you're sitting in a T-33. I'd go fly that. But really, I mean, P-51, P-51 would be cool. F-86 would be cool. All kinds. DCS should add crop dusters, yeah. I saw an announcement. DCS is working on a B1. Pretty cool. A B-52. Oh, God. I don't know why anybody would want to do that. That's just me, though. That sounds... I mean, the maps aren't big enough to make that worthwhile. You could fly B-52 in ATF Gold, right? I think you could. Margot Robbie. Thank you. I was trying to think of what this is how far behind. So people that are like, you don't read the comments, dude. I'm just trying to catch up, man. Have you ever been in a Turkish prison? Have you ever seen a grown man naked? +1 for the Lightspeed headset. Never really got along with Bose A20 for a few $100s more. The only thing, I have one complaint. Full disclosure. Here's my only complaint. It's on the wrong side, which actually works out with a helicopter because it's away. If you got the door open, it's away. But I don't like the boom on the left side. I'd rather on the right. That's my only complaint. I actually got used to it. It became no big deal, but that has always been my only complaint about this entire headset is that the boom is on the wrong side. They could just move it over. Like if you just flip it around, it'd be great. Let's see. Are you current on The Expanse? Did you enjoy the finale? I am current. I watched it last night. I enjoyed parts of the finale. I think there was a lot of filler in the runtime. Like you're just sitting here going, okay, dude, come on. Go, go, go. And then that soul subplot with the dogs. What? Like I didn't read the books. So like they just left this open-ended subplot. Like what was that? What? Like where's the rest? Why'd they just leave that part hanging? I thought this was the last season ever, right? Haven't they said this is it? They're canceling it after this season? So I don't know. Are they though? What's the 33? I'm gonna Google it then. Glock 33 is a 357 SIG. Yep, it's a baby 357 SIG. Ha! Fun story. I was aboard the HMS Queen Elizabeth during the CSG deployment last year and saw the absolute cock-up of an F-35 going over the bow and end of the drink. Better believe we all got a lashing for FOD. That's hilarious. Have you tried gliders? No. I did try gyrocopters, though. That was an experience. Is it possible to do fighters in the Guard Reserve as well as the airlines at the same time? Yes. Literally almost all of the DSGs or TRs, part-timers do that. Who deserved to win the F1 World Championship, Hamilton or Verstappen? I don't know. Who cried the least? Who's faster? I mean, Do the fighter jet and helicopter scene from Tomorrow Never Dies. Short and sweet. That's a good idea. Thank you. I'll try that. Don't forget to click like on this video. It helps the channel. Yeah, like, comment. I don't ever tell people to do this, but, hit the notification bell maybe. I don't know. Was the lightning strike F-16 or F-18? Both. Live stream the ruined movies. No edit issues. Preferably Flight of the Intruder with Wombat. Yeah, and then, no. That would be a lot of sit time. See, so here's the thing with Mover Ruins movies. Not only do you have to comment appropriately, but you have to edit it so that it's not a replacement for the original. So you never be able to do it live because you have to cut out the dead space. Otherwise, you're just rebroadcasting it, and then it's a violation of fair use, and you don't have a claim and all that stuff. So you really can't do it live. Also, yeah, I think some streamers in Twitch got in trouble for that. Hooch dog is a cat face. Speaking of faces, we're having a thing over there. Is this how far behind I am? Which do you think is the fastest fighter interceptor? The YF-12, weaponized SR-71, or souped-up MiG-25? Probably the YF-12. I can't imagine anything being faster than that. 286, me too. James and Microsoft Flight Sim. Hell yeah. I serve with David Schmitz and appreciate everything you've done for his family and others as well. Keep up the good work. Yeah, I'm honored to be able to share his message and his life and get the word out. We did him wrong in a lot of ways, from the mishap to the seat. We failed measure. It's just terrible. Let's see, what else we got? Ultralights? No. I wanted to as a kid, ever since watching Howard the Duck. And I liked Howard the Duck. People say it's a terrible movie. It was one of my favorites as a kid. Obvious follow-up, how much do you bench? I don't. I never have a spotter. I can do usually last set. If I'm just working out, I'll do the 90-pound dumbbells. I can do the hundreds for like 6 to 9 reps. But usually I just stop at the 90s and do other stuff. But yeah. Do you or have you thought of making it up to Oshkosh? I have. I don't really have anything to fly up there, but if I did, it would be a lot easier to figure that out. But what is your next gun? That's a good question. If you ask Deuce, he is always trying to get me to get another AR. But it's a good question. I don't know. I don't have one right now. I've got a safe that's full, unfortunately. I need a second safe. How's it going? Who is the best NCO you have worked with? Oh, God. It's hard to pick. We had a maintainer. We've had several maintainers at the Makos that have just been outstanding. The guys that worked in my office at the Makos, Jeff, was really outstanding. I mean, one of the best guys I know. VFA 204, I mean, the Chiefs mess there, they're just all class acts. I mean, it's really, really tough to say just one because there's been so many good ones, so many awesome people that I've had the pleasure and honor of working with. Hey, Mover, I'm going to go on recruitment for the Air Force pilot soon in Poland. I'm really scared of the medical exams. Dude, all you can do is make them tell you no. Just suck it up, do what they ask you, give them the information, and have faith. Hey, Mover, have you ever done anything with the Australian military? No, unfortunately, I have not. Would have been cool, though. How's Gonky? Gonky's great. He's doing good. Shout out for the doggos. No plots. Yeah, it's raining right now, so they're cooped up indoors. Kaiser's been struggling with some arthritis lately. I'm trying to get him up and about. Do you know what's going on with the T7, if and when it'll replace the T-38? I think it's supposed to go to Randolph in the next, 2 years, and then probably pilot training bases by the end of the decade. I'd be surprised if you see before 2028. That's my guess. That's just a guess. I don't know. If you could, which attack plane would you fly, and why is it the A-10? Because the A-10 is awesome. It's got the gun. It's got loiter capability. It can carry a whole bunch of crap. I mean, like laser rockets, dude. You know, laser Mavericks, laser rockets. Targeting pod, although they put it on the wrong side. I don't know why they couldn't put it on the left. Um, you know, the A-10C with the displays and stuff. Just awesome aircraft. I'm anxious to watch you ruin Top Gun 2. Boy, I'm anxious just to see Top Gun 2. All right, have any of you guys seen Ghostbusters Afterlife? Let me know if it's good, because I'm seriously thinking about, because I'm such a big Ghostbusters fan and I didn't get to see it in theaters, just paying $20 and buying it tonight to watch it. So, you guys in the comments, if you've seen it, is it worth buying or should I wait to rent? That's my question. Who am I? No idea. Still trying to figure that out every day. Isn't your Hilo flight test today? No, it's in a couple weeks. Which Euro Canard fighter, the Gripen, Rafale, or Typhoon, would you fly and why? I'd fly all of them. Like, literally. I wouldn't. I mean, the Rafale would be cool. The Typhoon, I've heard, I mean, is just an outstanding machine. And the Gripen we've seen. So, I mean, all of them, really. Did you ever use Dramamine in the F-18s? No. I never in my military career have I ever used Dramamine. You can't. That's not legal to do, and didn't need to. I mean, once you kick it, it's done. You don't have to keep going back to it. What stories have you heard UFOs during your career? I've heard of guys out near Eglin, over the water, seeing co-altitude things at high altitude, but it's unexplained. Like, they don't know what it is. It's not necessarily aliens. It's just unidentified. Mover, have you heard of a Taiwanese F-16V crash several days ago? Preliminary investigation points to spatial disorientation. Is this a real danger, even to veteran fighter pilots? 100% yes, especially in the F-16. With no canopy bow, it's just, it's a very, I mean, I've got a story. Maybe that's its own video one day. One of my first combat missions in Iraq, I got spatial D'd flying. In fact, ironically, with Stinky, who ejected due to spatial disorientation. I got spatial D'd because when you take off in Iraq, it's like, you know, lights, you go up, and I just happen to have a FLICUS problem. So the FLICUS, the flight control system's back here. So I look back, look down, heads down, looked up, the jet started, you know, turning, and it's desert at night, and it's just the sea of black, and you just, like, your eyes and, you know, your body's still telling you you're upright, the HUD's telling you you're like this, and you're like, shit, I'm upside down at 3,000 feet, you know, 4,000 feet, whatever it was. And it's like, okay, recognize, confirm, recover. Like, it, you know, it just gets you. I guess that's the whole story. Okay, we're getting some of the same questions twice. How do I get a mailbag? I guess you start a YouTube channel and then, you know, do it. Who gave you your call sign and why? Go watch my very first video. I was named by the Makos. Still no reserve job then? That's correct. If any flight in a 38, probably the end of the month. F-14 versus F-16. Tomcats. If we're dogfighting, F-16. All day long. All day long. Mover, did you go to Nova Scotia? How far behind? Oh man, I'm like 15 minutes behind. I'm sorry, fellas and ladies. Especially ladies. No, I've never been in Nova Scotia. Will we see you at Oshkosh 2022? Maybe. I don't know. Right now, I'm trying to just get through Heli Expo, you know? That'll be my first actual event. Why you have to be an officer to fly a plane? It's just the rules, man. I don't know. It's the way it's always been. Any advice on getting past solo fears during PPL training? I think, you know, with any kind of anxious feelings like that, you just have to focus on what's next. You know, get yourself, compartmentalize the fears and get yourself into, okay, what do I have to do next? What's next on the checklist? What should I be thinking about next? And try to think all about the mission, and then you'll forget about your fears. That's one thing. Another thing I've heard is you can't be anxious when you're singing. So, you know, if you sing something to yourself while you're doing that, it might help alleviate. Chewing gum could also help. You know, there's all kind of little techniques you can do. Square breathing. So where you 3 seconds in, hold it 3 seconds, 3 seconds out, hold it 3 seconds. That could also help you. Watched your post about struggling mentally. Getting into your post gave me confidence to regain my currency from a pilot's license, especially listening to that song by The Source. There you go. The Score, you mean. Zayd Wolf, too, man. Love this stuff. There's also a Sia song, Unstoppable. I found that the other day. I was like, yeah, that's a good one. Will you do a video on the J20? Sure, why not? I was able to reach out to Rain after your interview with him. Looking forward to meeting up with him when he flies through my area. Oh, cool. Awesome. Do you race these things in your profile? Hell, I want to go fly with you. I'm going to fly that A4 or the F86. What is that, an L39? I'll go fly that too, man. Hit me up. Do you know if it's U.S. only? I don't. You'd have to. Here, we can click on the terms and conditions. Eligibility. I don't know. No. You have to look. I'm not reading all that right now. Any new videos with the? I've never done any videos with the Harris County Aviation Crew. People get confused. It's Harrison County. It's two different states. And I've got this troll that always. He's an idiot. He's an absolute idiot. Not you, Terry, but this other idiot who has got this hard on for Harris County in Houston about how corrupt they are, which I don't know anything about. But he trolls all my videos saying how corrupt I am because I've said that I've never seen anybody do anything to violate anybody's civil rights, which is true in my agency in Louisiana, because he has examples of Harris County, which is in Houston. Well, I flew with Harrison County, which I don't work for. I just go fly with. And I work for a Louisiana agency, St. Tammany Parish. So people just get this Harris County. But to answer your question, I hope so. Is getting struck by lightning dangerous, or is this the plane protected by the Faraday? Go watch the lightning strike video I did. You'll see the results of that. Can you interview with one of the videos from the Dos Gringos? That'd be fun. I think so. Which is more challenging, to fly a helicopter or a plane? Helicopter. I mean, just basic flying, helicopter for sure. Have you worked with combat controllers? What are your opinions about those guys? Yes, I have, and they're badasses. I respect the hell out of them. I mean, I've worked with them. Close air support. Grant Thumb, I think, is a combat controller. Daddy Flannel. B1 and B52 are just improved AI models, not modules. Oh, okay. Sorry. My bad. That makes sense. What happened to Gonky and Mover Ruins Fly the Intruder? Gonky is a busy man. Having a kid, you know, he's hard to wrangle down. Will you be able to old school film your Flinny flight? Probably. I mean, at that point, you know, what difference does it make? Are you a fan of gladiator movies? Have you ever seen a grown man naked? Hey there, I hope all is well. Everything's great. I'm very grateful. You know, gratitude is a thing now. You know, attracting positive stuff, being a happier person. Former Marine enlisted aircrew and civilian side of 20 years. As a small business owner, I love to collect advice. What one or two things stand out as a lifelong advice you like those around you? Wow. Get a good accountant. I think everybody I've talked to, Gonky, you know, being a business guy himself, you get a good accountant, he can work wonders. You know, I think that's probably numero uno. It's worth it. It really is. Have you ever had the opportunity, or would you be interested in airshow flying? Sure. I would do it. Did you ever think about flying helicopters like Apaches instead of fighters? Yeah. I mean, yeah, I would have done that. I looked at the warrant officer, you know, street to seat thing when I was in my high school time. You know, that was one of the things I looked at. I didn't read the books either yet. Been busy with Spectre and Shepard. I know what you mean. 45-minute EPs and 1 hour finale. Short season worried me. Yeah. Yeah. He's talking about The Expanse. That's how far behind I am. You thought about doing a story with Lester about the Civil Air Patrol? I saw Lester wearing a cap jacket in one of the videos. Realized it might be some bureaucracy. Yeah, maybe. 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 Yep, you're way behind. I'm sorry. Do Flight of the Navigator. See you later, Navigator. Howard the Duck. I had such a crush on Leah Thompson in that movie. Boy, that is a true story. That is a true story. Dumbbell press is great, isn't it though? I saw this on Instagram of all places. I started doing a lighter weight incline dumbbell press where you do like an Arnold press. So you start here and you rotate out. And I've really enjoyed that. Can ROTC cadets be sponsored to go to UPT? 100%. That is one of the highest, next to the academy, I think one of the easiest ways to go to pilot training. Have you ever suffered from G-lock? No, I've suffered from A-lock. I've come close, but never actually G-locked. Why does everybody keep thinking my check ride is today? Where'd that come from? Why won't the U.S. share the F-22 with Australia? It won't share it with anybody. I mean, the assembly line's shut down. Are you allowed to carry a firearm in a jet? Yes, you do carry. We carried the POS M9. I think now they've changed it to the SIG, which some people like, some people don't. Love you, man. Your level of sincerity is up there. I just try to be me, man. Try to be real. That's it. Please do a safe tour sometimes. Well, I don't know, because I don't want anybody stealing my stuff. But yeah, one day. One day we'll do some firearms tours. Randolph, as in Randolph Air Force Base in San Antonio? Yep. Do you really think America can beat Russia and do be biased? It depends. I mean, it depends. It depends on political willpower, what it comes down to. Let's see. I guess the studio behind the Expanse TV series hopes it will eventually be picked up by someone else. You think so? You think that's what's going to happen? Yeah. Okay, all right. We're talking about Ghostbusters. Fantastic. It sucks if you think the first was great. Okay, what are you defining as the first one? Like the actual first one or the ones with the chicks? Because the ones with the chicks was the worst movie I've seen in a long time. No, wait till free. Man. See, I've got a STI 2011, which is basically a Staccato. Ghostbusters is good. $20, I don't know. I don't have Disney Plus for the Book of Boba Fett. I've seen an A-10 coming in on target practice at Fort Drum was insane. You see the rounds hit, and then like 2 minutes later, you hear the report. Yeah. What do you think of the Gripen? I did a video on it. I think it's great. Leon says it's good. I bought it for $19.99. See, that's what I'm thinking. 4K UHD. Yes, it's worth the buy. It brings a modern take on the old character. See, John, I trust you, man. I trust you. I'm trust you. But it's better than the remake, yeah. That one was just, anything is better than the remake. Like that show, remember that Top Gun ripoff I did? Where they fly in the L-39s? That was better than that crappy movie. That was just terrible. Did you go to ROTC or OTS? I did OTS. What movie is worth $20 a day? Well, I would pay $20 for Top Gun Maverick. I would pay $20 for A New Days of Thunder if they would ever make such a thing. I would pay $20 for a Spectre or Shepard movie. I'm thinking about paying $20 for Ghostbusters. There you go. F-22 is useless against it, and you know ought. Okay. Can you do this live thing more often? We were trying to do it more. I'm trying to make all the mover mailbags live. That's the plan, because it's a little bit easier. Spatial D, did you use NVGs on takeoff? No, we would goggle after takeoff. But a lot of times what I would do is just put them on the bracket and flip them up. But you're not supposed to do that, but it'd be a little lazy. But this specific thing was just, I had a flickus problem, so it had me back here looking down, and the jet started. I was doing a rejoin. Why are you not eating king cake? Because I don't want to be fat. Can't afford it. Oh boy. You don't even know that officers aren't the only ones that fly planes. You're clearly stolen valor. You're right. And that's not me in the picture behind me. Or the DG plaque behind me. Or the air-to-ground Top Gun award behind me in the F-16. You're right. I'm definitely a fraud. What's the fastest speed you have traveled in the air and on the ground? On the ground, like 186 miles an hour. And in the air, 800 knots. Mach 1.86. I think I've gotten like 1,100 ground speed with winds and all that stuff. Oh, here we go. Ever thought of doing some basics of flight vids in DCS? Nah. I have done some, but nah. Any preferences if you buy a plane, what you'd be looking for? That's a tough question. That is the biggest question, right? Is what the budget is and what to buy. Like the Aerostar, the 601P, seems like a good airplane to have. Twin engine, fast. Throw the dogs in the back. I really want a Turbine Legend like that. I really want that, but they're uninsurable and you can't finance them. It's a little bit tougher. I think a Cirrus is a little overpriced for the speed you get. I like the Lancer 4P, but they're uninsurable and they're kind of dangerous. They don't have a lot of room either. Like I saw a Lancer 4PT, which I was like, that's pretty cool, but again, who's going to insure it? I don't know. It's like I like speed, but I don't have the budget for it, and I don't want to like a Cherokee 6 does not interest me, like whatever. So I don't know. We'll see. Being a badass fighter pilot gets you a backseat ride in other jets if you wanted, rarely. I mean, it happens, but it's rare. What kind of VR are you using when flying? I'm assuming you mean DCS, so I've got the Reverb G2. Mover, did you ever go to mock loop runs? No. You ever see one of the pros' photos of you pushing the turn? No. Nutcases will be nutcases the first time here live. Yeah. Yeah. What sucks is I'm so far behind. He triggered himself because I wasn't responding. Oh, it happens. Can you get an interview with Kim Campbell? I don't know. No. I mean, unless somebody knows him, her. No. I don't know. No. Oh, here we go. He's back. You're a wannabe person that pretends like you actually did anything. You got me. It's true. Just I'm a great actor. So glad you guys finally realized that I'm wonderful. He's a TAC P. Oh, we're talking about Grande Thumb. You just tell stories. Well, you didn't actually do anything. I have a good imagination then. Double down on 19. Talk about a CAS mission you flew in Iraq. That's another video. Do you ever see yourself flying for commercial airlines? I am a commercial airline pilot. I've done it. I did it from 2016 until 2020, and I've been on leave of absence since. Mover, can you do an interview with Margot Robbie? Do you know Margot Robbie? Because if you do, please, yes. 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 That is true. What is the max G's you ever pulled? 9.8. Hurt like a mofo. That was I almost G-locked, for sure. Let me guess, the troll is probably a felon, is the victim of the system, not his own actions. Oh, man. When did you join the Air Force? Well, according to Numbnuts, never. I just made it up. But I commissioned in 2006. Officially swore in 2005 before I went to OTS in 06. Graduated pilot training in 2007, went to the Navy in 2012, came back to the Air Force in 2018. What's next for you? I don't know. I don't know. I was hoping for some more questions from the attractive people, but whatever. I'm not saying, just saying the nice avatars. That's what I was hoping for. Do you know who Jocko Willink is? Yes. Have you watched any of his videos? A couple. Do you know fighter pilots from other countries' Air Force, and would you interview them? I don't really, no. What do you think about the F-15EX? I'm excited to see it around Kingsley. Yeah, dude, I think it's awesome. I'm curious to see how squadrons square the corner with the empty back seat, because I know like some of the C model squadrons are like, absolutely not, we will not have Wizzos. So what are you going to do with that back seat? So just going to solo, you know? I mean, like we do the T-38, which I guess. What do you think about the Swedish JAS? JAS? I love it. I think it's great. All right, here we go. Here we go. You have never flown anything other than your little virtual game jets. Correct. That's why my neck's still cracked because of all the VR. Why did you ask this last time? I remember this. Why do the turns feel so steep in a commercial flight? I think you just need to man up. That's all. I just think, it's not. It's not. I like Lester, but I think that other dude is better. No disrespect. I think they both have their things. Mover, T-poser, T-pose until World War III is breaking Rule 1. Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun. I actually like the hecklers. Well, you found the caps lock. Maybe you'll find the evidence to contradict your strange statements. Yeah, I always say prove it. If you got evidence, by all means, please prove it. I like to hear it. Somebody had this elaborate story one time that I was like a maintenance officer that was just making stuff up the whole time. Like I literally have videos of me. Like that's a picture of me. That's me. Right there. That's me. Like what? Yeah. Do pilots have combat and survival training in case you're shot down? Oh, yes, we do. SEER. Survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. You have land survival and water survival. At what age did you join the military? God, okay, so 2006, 2005. I was 22, right? 22 in 05. So I started OTS. I was 22. I turned 23 in OTS. So here you go. Oh, here we go. There's a lot you don't know about your actual job, which leads me to believe you never actually flew a jet. What don't I know that you know? The Expanse season finale has a huge Easter egg that pays to tribute to many sci-fi genres. Really? The fight scene where they raid, the thing, I don't want to spoil it, but where they actually, that reminded me a whole lot of Mass Effect. Everything woke turns to poop. I have not checked out VTOL VR. I should, though. The 4th-gen jets have incredible longevity compared to previous generation fighters. What do you think the reason for this is? Bureaucracy. I think we've gotten to the point where the industrial military complex has gotten so big and there's so much money and there's so many politics and so many politicians that have like little pieces get built here and here that we are unable to build things quickly and design things quickly and put them in the service quickly. Do you skydive? I've done it one time. A whole lot I don't know about IT, but I'm a badass at it. My colleagues call me SSL Jesus. Best Corvette generation? I love mine the most. I mean, I love the C701 more than any car I've ever owned, so that's what I'm going to say. There are officers who have been in longer than enlisted that are so stupid they never touched a jet. Okay. Top Gunner, that's what it was, yeah. Are you going to watch some football today? Who are your picks? I'm gonna go ahead and say that I don't know. I don't care. That's I'll watch it, but whatever. Um, there we go. So somebody says go Pats. Okay, go Pats. Everyone hates on the 4th gen Corvette, but I love it. What do you think is the best Corvette gen? I had a 4th gen Corvette, but I wouldn't mind owning a 4th gen like 01. Like I wouldn't mind. I would love to have like a every year 01, kind of like the poster. But I don't know. Oh, we're back. Why won't you tell your viewers that the F-22 was a financial ruin for the United States military budget? Was it the F-22? We actually had the designer on. He talked a lot about it. I mean, when you cut the order from like 800 or 900 to 187, cost economies of scale, it's kind of a thing. How do you train to fly with NVGs? You wear NVGs. You go to the sim first. Where is that cheerleader lady? That's a good question. I don't know. T-pose until World War III needs to get muted, but it's so much more fun this way. I've seen you say you wanted to get into flying A-10s. Is the reason only the aircraft, or is there something else, like the knowing the gratitude of the ground troops? I am all about the mission. CAS was one of my favorite, if not my favorite, missions in the F-16 and F-18. I mean, you're supporting the 18-year-old with a rifle, the warfighter on the ground, the tip of the spear. You know, everybody else is a support asset, and if you can make, you know, their crappy day just a little bit better by, you know, bringing hate to their enemies, hell yeah, dude, that's awesome. I mean, and the A-10 is one of the most effective CAS platforms out there. All right, now he's getting boring. See that? Okay, that's great. Let's see. Anybody else write anything? Don't tell Mover what to do. Oh, now we're responding to him. Turn off your computer and save the 2 brain cells. Which looks better, F-22 or F-23? The F-22 is a great looking airplane. I think the 23 looks like a flying squirrel. Loving the Monroe Doctrine trees. No, I'm not familiar with that. Have you seen that civilian dude who straight up bought a Harrier? Yeah, it's for sale. Like, you're talking about the Marine guy? Yeah, it's been on controller for a while. You ever give that subsonic jet a look? No, I have not. She poses like Baghdad Bob. No one cares about you. Oh, cool. I'm finally catching up. Don't feed the trolls. I love the trolls. T-Pose should become a tax-paying citizen one day. Yeah, he's probably. Have you seen the Hill Helicopters X50? What do I think of it? I mean, until there's a real... It's just like the Su-75. Until it's real, I mean, okay. Like, show me. Who do you look up to? My dad. I mean, he's passed away, but I looked up to my dad. Um, and T-Bear. T-Bear was a big influential person in my life. Still is. Movers a wannabe. I hope the person who said that has videos him flying a real F-18. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. I'm so far behind all this stuff. Uh, Kim Campbell is the A-10 pilot. Took a Sam over Baghdad and flew her home. Nice. Badass. Yeah, if I'm so if it says mover's faking all this and stolen valor, some lose commitment to the lie. I mean that's elaborate. I mean there's a lot. How do you tackle helmet fire, and how do you train to get resistance against that? I mean, by just repetition, by doing something enough that it's second nature, so that you know you're ahead of the aircraft. I mean that's really the only way. You have to just go back to basics. 9G Club. Yep. Amazing the amount of people that seem to have just found you and know nothing about you. It's a shame. I don't know. I mean, some of these people, I mean, they might have been here a while. You're talking about the trolls? I mean, yeah. What chair are you using now? It's a secret lab. I chose it because I thought it was going to be more comfortable. It is not. It is not a comfortable chair. Struggling to decide, fly Army warrant or try for Navy fighters. Worried I won't get fighters and get stuck as an officer somewhere else. Any advice? Uh, don't self-eliminate. So if you want to go fly fighters, do it. I mean, don't worry about... Live in the present, right? Don't worry about getting stuck somewhere else. Live in the present. Because you have to get a pilot slot. So, I mean, if you get a pilot slot, worst case, you won't fly fighters. You might fly helos. You might fly, you know, C2, E2, whatever. I guess they're doing Ospreys now, whatever. But you'll at least still be flying. So I would definitely do that. Mover versus Maverick, who would win? Mover, all day long. Maverick doesn't exist. You plan on doing any sort of collaboration? I don't have any plans to do that. That doesn't mean it won't happen. Attending something like Sun and Fun, I'm doing Heli Expo. At least as of right now. Depends on some stuff with the airline, but it should. Why would people that don't know you come here and make crazy comments? They disturb the flow of your video. I have no idea. I mean, every video I get stupid stuff like this. It's just, instead of being live, it's usually in the comments. But huge fan of yours. When will you carry on writing a new book? I don't know. I mean, I've I just haven't gotten the creative urge to do it. I need to, though. Oh, hello from Bowling Green, Kentucky, Corvette country. Hell yeah, Kentucky. Beautiful women, beautiful cars. Why did they make the EX with 2 seats that had no intention of using them with Wizzos? Because it was the E, and then they just made the E more badass. Because that was what the assembly line has. I mean, they weren't, I don't know. Was the QA, were they making any C models anymore? Mover the Troll is one of your wingmates busting your. I doubt it. No, most of the people that I know have. This is a very tenuous grasp of the English language. Everybody I know would at least use, not sound like a 12-year-old. Pineapple on pizza. What are you, a commie? No. You checked out the F-35? No. Can you fly the A-10? If so, could you fly? I mean, if they would hire me, I would, but I currently cannot. Can you do a cooking with Lester show? That would be hilarious. That would be pretty funny. I can't cook though. What do you think of the 737 MAX? I think the 757 should have been what they kept building. I think you stretch one airplane too many times. Have you flown RC airplanes? I've flown RC helicopters. I crash them every time. I've got like 4 or 5 RC helicopter carcasses in my attic. How do you ask a question? Well, you capitalize the H, but you got the rest of it right. Thoughts on YouTube UPT 2.5? I think more flying is better. Sent a pic to you a while back of a buddy's RV. Message me if you want his contact. He's currently building a Carlin Cub. Probably not like scrappy, but I'm nice. I don't remember did I respond to you? I'm sorry. Let's see. Did T-Pose finally go away as I read these comments? God, how long have we been doing this? Hour and a half? It's probably time to shut it down. But hold on, I want to catch up here. In your opinion, which country has the highest level of combat training? The U.S. I mean, that's just facts. My Mustang would demolish your 01. What do you, like, when you say demolish, does that mean it's going to be parked and you're just going to spin out into it like you do a normal crowd? Or do you have a P-51? Hey, mover, you need a day at Disney World. If you ever had the chance, would you fly the SR-71? Sure. I thought you had to be a skydiver. No, we just do parasailing for that. I have done skydiving, but not for training. Thank you for the info. I'm not really interested for myself. My son, who will be old enough to join student leadership, is so poor. I'm hesitant. That is that's a real problem. Yeah. Curious. I know you haven't been able to show in-flight videos lately, but you're still able to record them. There's nothing legally wrong with it. If you look at the reg, it says no handheld cameras, which GoPros are not handheld. Yeah, I mean, there used to be a thing that actually said no. What did it say? It had some specific wording, but that's gone now. So technically you can, but it just depends. I guess old boy left. Are you dragging the vet at the strip? No, I only do road courses with the 01. I want to do a drag strip with the Durango. I actually went with Brooklyn. She and I went. We were going to go see what it would run, and then the stupid track said that it was having a test and tune, and turned out it wasn't. Man, you can never catch up. You're telling me, man. And people get so mad about because I missed their thing. The troll is an old CO joshing you while drinking. I doubt it. I seriously do. Although, if it is an old CO, I've got some choice words for a couple of those people, because I've flown with some awful commanders and some really great ones. So if you're watching, you can figure out who you are. Have you done BFM against the Strike Eagle? No, I never did. Margot, please come back. Margot Robbie was here? Damn. I really do need to catch up. Congratulations on passing the CFA level 1. Please watch my videos now with your free time. Why do very few modern military aircraft reach? Because there's just no need. I mean, it's just what the requirements are. Why is the camera having so much trouble focusing? What's going on with that? Ooh, Winter Fighter is going to use lasers? Sharks with freaking laser beams? I don't know, but I think that's cool. Will you fly? Yeah, sure. I'm a firefighter pilot around the corner from you in Mississippi. Come visit us sometimes. Some good SAR Task Force stuff and a great warbird community. Ooh, yeah, sounds fun. Caught your channel with the Ace Combat reactions. Had huge interest in your reviews as a fighter pilot. Well, yeah, I'm gonna try to film one of those tomorrow. Shorts, videos, ideas. Yeah, the problem is I think TikTok is cancer. Oh, hi, mover. I'm reading something that's very far down. Here we go. There hasn't been a single seater F-15 built in a long time. I'd say the EX won't use a Wizzo. Still has a nav targeting pod. Might be a loyal wingman thing. God, I gotta catch up. Where was I? Okay. All right. It's a shame that you got critique for your DCS videos. I found you through DCS videos. Yeah, I'm not saying I won't do anymore. I'm just saying it's not like a priority because, you know, is what it is. Uh, have you gotten over Macho Grande? I don't know what that is. Is that COVID? Yeah, I got over COVID. You could title your next book about your 2 dogs. 3 dogs. Luna Bell's around here somewhere. Airwolf versus 5 Apaches. Who wins? Airwolf all day long. All day long. Do you know where I can get your books? I think if you just go to Amazon, right? I think you can get the books on there. How does switching aircraft work if you're hired by a different squadron? They have to have what's called a transition course, and then they send me to the transition course. I come back, I do what's called seasoning days, where I get familiar with the squadron and stuff, and then I'm back to being a wingman and then a flight lead and go through all the upgrades. You need to give the RV-10 another look. Well, here's the problem with that. The RV-10 is super expensive now, built. I'm not building an airplane. Super expensive built, not all that fast for the price. Like I said, the 601P or 701 is almost the same price and a whole lot faster. Whoever had a scary incident flying recently but want to maximize it as an opportunity to learn and improve. How do you tackle these moments? No people or aircraft were harmed, just a close call. Really, you have to fly. You have to just go back and fly. You have to fly often. You have to just rebuild your confidence. You have to fly as much as you can, compartmentalize it. If it helps you, write down the incident, how you felt, and then let it go. Forgive yourself and forgive the circumstances, and then be grateful that what you could learn from it, and then move on to the next thing. Is jolting going between planes and helicopters so often? It can be, but typically lately, not really. Have you ever flown T-38s on approaches to Longview? We had 2 T-38s at Longview yesterday, but it wasn't me. What is Macho Grande? Everybody keeps saying that. An ex-boyfriend, retired submariner of mine, would not watch The Hunt for Red October because he said it was not realistic. Do you ever roll your eyes at movies like Top Gun? Yeah, but I still think it's awesome. I'll watch it all the time. Mover, get with NetJets. No. I don't want to do that. I don't want to fly for money. That's really, I'd rather, be the one in the back, not the one flying people around, or flying my own jet. My Mustang is a P-51. Made it before Roush did. Oh, okay. That's fine. Just old enough to join the Royal Air Force as a pilot, but still have another year and a bit of high school. Should I apply now or wait until I finish high school? Apply as soon as you can, and then update your app. Can you still use your sim rig to fly helicopters? Yes, sure can. I was flying the Huey the other night with Doug and Raymond. Oh, look, Donkey's calling me. Should I answer? Realistically, how fast can you get a jet in the air from a cold start? Cold start? 10 minutes. Oh, look, Donkey is calling me. Now, Donkey, you're live. I'm live right now. Yeah. I'm live streaming a mover mailbag right now, and you just called in the middle of it. So now you're live with the rest of us. You've actually had a couple people ask about you. Want to know how you're doing? So how are you doing?
Good. I'm really good. I just been hanging out. Actually, just met a Marine Corps Hornet guy. Fun talking with him. Doing real estate stuff. A little bit of military flying and civilian flying. Trying to stand something, dude.
Yeah, we're doing our Finny flight together, right? Yeah. Okay. Nice. Is it going to be on your channel?
Yes. After it's done.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, dude, I'll call you back after we're wrapping up here in a minute. I'm just shooting the breeze here with the chat. I had a poser. Hey, somebody called me a poser. Said I'm not a real fighter pilot.
That would be fake news. I don't know if I can say that.
No, that means you're fake too, Gonky.
Everybody probably question if I ever flew an airplane at all, but I am a fighter pilot.
Yeah, that is true. We're barely hanging on, but we're fighter pilots anyway.
That's true.
All right. See you, buddy. All right, later. Hey, that was Gonky. All right, here we go. I'm not building an airplane. You don't know what you're missing. Oh, yes, I do. You know, I've owned a Glass Air. I'm not even fit to work on them. I am strictly a pilot. Ever consider flying heli pilot for police force? I would do it part-time. But I don't have any desire to do it as a job. Like I want to focus on other things. I don't want to, be tied down to one job, Have ever flown a Tomcat? No. C2A or CMV-22? CMV-22, for sure. Oh, he's back. He's back. Oh, God. Hey, if you're actual pilot, what plane has the better turn radius, a F-22 or Mirage 2K, huh? Like, what is he, Chinese spy or something? Just trying to get stuffs. Oh, there we go. We're actually caught up. NetJets for free travel? I get free travel. Well, you're still alive. I went to the store. Yeah, I know, dude. It's been... Or dudette, ma'am. Speaking of ma'am. How often do you get to ask questions of a real... Anytime. Anytime we do this, you can ask questions. You can email me, movermailbag@cwin1.com if you want. Gonky, wear your helmet. Invite him for a Q&A. Yeah, we should do that. Oh, Macho Grande was the aborted mission. I haven't seen that movie forever. Is this it? No more T-38? Potentially. There's a chance. I've got another job that'll allow me to fly it, but it may be tough to do. When in an emergency, always stay as calm as Trevor Jacob. Yeah, basically that would just be, I lost the engine in the F-16, I'm just going to punch. Like, I'm not going to troubleshoot, not going to try to air start, just punch. Listen with your back, hands, and feet when flying a helicopter. Going to tell you when a problem's coming. Yeah, that's good advice. Gonki's channel is called The Ready Room. Shanghai, did you get to go meet up with that dude and go do DCS? The mover being a fighter pilot is now, yeah, it's a pretty big conspiracy, and I think even Shanghai might be in on it. Of course, Tomcats. Exactly. Have you ever had an engine failure? Yep. What jet has the most panty dropping potential? None. They don't care. None of them. At all. I mean, the Hornet works, but I don't know if it's the Hornet. I would pay some serious money to see you and Gonki driving your sim cardboard aircraft with wings around in the yard with triplets on to validate his claims of mystique. Oh, that is funny. Would you consider doing voiceover work for DCS? I guess. Hey, Tom, new viewer, thanks. Appreciate the videos. Yeah, confirmed Chinese spy. His English is pretty bad. Who rules the house, Sniper, KVR, or Lunabelle? So, Sniper's still the boss of the dogs. Lunabelle is in charge of pretty much me. She's got me wrapped around her paw. Ray-Bans or Oakleys? I wear Oakleys. How was COVID? It was like a cold. The upper respiratory infection I had was thing. Call sign story? Go watch the first video. Every time we do these, somebody asks about the call sign. T-Pose, love you long time. Yeah, where are your troops? And may I go there and count them? Is quality of life better in the Air Force or Navy as a fighter pilot? I would say Air Force, but the Navy treats you more like a fighter pilot than the Air Force. Air Force treats you like a kid. Do you like the traditions in pilot culture? Dollar ride? Yes. Mustache? Do you have a favorite one? Not really. I mean, I like roll calls. I mean, those are a lot of fun. What's the name of Gonki's channel? It's The Ready Room. We love your vids. My daughter wants to fly as a Marine aviator when she's older. Well, good for her. I hope she makes them tell her no. Have you flown a sling? No. Would you have? No, I don't remember the question. If invited, would you fly with us on a World War II bomber? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. T-Pose is Trevor Jacob. Oh, hey Chris, how you doing? Appreciate it. Have you or anyone you know had bird strike? Yes. Yeah, I sure did. Got me. One of them, I lost an engine on a formation takeoff, and one of them got me stuck in Dover forever. Let's see. Well, I recently described, so don't much about you. What was your most intense mission experience while serving? Man, there's so many different stories. Shanghai knows nothing of conspiracies past or present except the one where Mover is an alien. It's true. Have you heard of the Mach Loop? Well, of course. I've just never done it. Oh, look, T-Bear messaged me. Let's see what he says. Should call him. Get him on here, too. Oh, he just sent me a video. So much wanted to hear the answer to my chat. Ripped the carton of my lasagna when I was in the kitchen. Hope it doesn't flow out. Any Corvette mods coming up? No. All I've done is return it to mostly stock. The only mod is the X-Pipe, and that's pretty much the way it's going to stay. I did get a set of Forge Line EX1 track wheels, though. So I'm going to quit using the cup wheels and just use the stock one and the EX1s. Thought you said KBR at first. That would be a strange name for a dog. Yeah, that's true. The contractor. Navy equals more portions. Air Force equals better quality chow hog. Yeah. You should grow back your beard. I'd love to. I mean, that's eventually the plan. T-Pose until World War III couldn't have passed 8th grade English, I know. Favorite branch for Special Forces teams? Really? I don't really have a thing. What is the preferred college degree when it comes to earning a pilot slot? One that is a good backup career and you can get a good GPA in. Look at STEM degrees if you want to ever be a test pilot. And well, I do have mover swag. I got a whole store, the Teespring store. Would you be willing to fly for Draken? Yep. I don't think I've done Jedi Canyon, no. CW, Friday is my brother's Navy graduation day. Would you like to say anything to him? Well, if he's watching, good luck. Have a great career. Be safe. You know, help your bros, which boys and girls. And just be a sponge. Learn. Be humble, approachable. Try to be as credible as possible. Stay in the books. Would you want to go into low Earth orbit? Sure. Yes! The plural of aircraft is aircraft. That is all carry. YouTube even has it screwed. Where did I see it the other day? Oh, man. Oh, Microsoft Flight Sim had it as aircraft. So I'm like, you guys are idiots. I can't believe Microsoft Flight Sim got this wrong. What do you think about the Dodge Viper? I love it. It's a great car. Not so much of a Skyline. I've never been into drifting. I'm only an amateur flight sim DCS enthusiast, but hearing your insight on flying is top tier. Thanks for the content. Andre says, Mover, could you help me out with my older son? He's about to turn 17. Always talked about becoming a fighter pilot, but lost his mom last year and made him lose track. His name is Mauricio. I mean, you can email me if you got specific questions, but the biggest thing is he just needs to... losing a parent sucks, but one of the things that actually helped me was putting all of my efforts into becoming a fighter pilot. I mean, he's going to need to deal with the loss of a parent. That means talking to somebody, non-medical counseling, so no drugs, nothing like that. But he needs to talk to somebody and work through it, and then he needs to put his focus on, you know, doing that if that's what he wants to do. Are you going to try the Apache? Hell yeah. And I'm going to scream, I am the greatest. Hats off to that instructor. Yeah, Don was cool. I've got one more video. Don's not in it, though. He's in the other airplane. Excited for the Daytona 500? No. Not really. I mean, I might watch it, but I'm not really excited about it. What's your real name? Cornwallis Wilbur. Do you watch Cletus McFarlane? I do. Draken just got old Dutch and Norwegian F-16s. Could be a chance to get 1,000 hours. Yeah, I need 27 hours. Would you try the F-15E and MiG-23 modules? Yes, but I'm not reading the manual. I worked on the 2013, 2014. You know, it kills me because my dealership had a 2013 Viper in the showroom. They could not sell. The price went as low as like 60 grand because they couldn't get rid of it back in 2013. I wish I'd have bought it. Should I get an engineering degree before becoming a pilot? I mean, do you want to be an engineer? If so, yes. Do you not want to be an engineer? Then no. How many instructional hours? Not many, like 6 to 9, because I only taught BFM to, you know, and Red Air stuff in the Hornet. That's all I ever was an instructor in. You watch Demo Ranch? Sometimes. Sometimes. Is there anything in your career that's a whole video? Yeah, I have a lot of regrets, mistakes. I mean, obviously it worked out, but yeah, for sure. How are hours used gauged to quantify the value of flight hours? I don't know what that means. Can you do something with the Demolition Ranch? I don't know them. Can I make a movie about the books? I hope so. Would a pilot's education require basic math and interpersonal communication skills? Yes. Same. They couldn't sell the last gen Viper either. ACRs were listed for just over 100K. Yeah, have you seen them now? They're like 250. It's crazy. Would you fly for SpaceX? Is this a job offer? Because the answer is yes. I don't know why people complain that you weren't prepared when doing the DCS videos. It's way more entertaining when you try to figure it out yourself instead of knowing, because people don't want to see what I have to say. They want to see validation of what they already think. You know, that's just the nature of the beast. They don't want to know what I think. They don't know want they want me to take it as seriously as they do and then validate whatever it is they believe. You know, I mean, and then that's it. Our flight hours documented and tracked. You do a 781 after every flight. When's your next book coming out? God, I don't know. I don't know. Most of my creative energy has been in writing screenplays lately, and this, you know, doing a YouTube thing. I think you're awesome. Love your videos, but you are horrible at answering questions. You just reason the question and go, meh. I mean, it's better than that. What do you want me to say? Like, some questions, that's just the answer. Like, what do you want? Rather dogfight in a T-38 or a potato? Potato, for sure. Have a great weekend. CC yourself. Mr. Lemoyne, you're really wise. What to do when you rip your lasagna carton? Mind you can't glue it and it's frozen in. Put it on a plate. Beans or no beans? We're talking chili? No beans. Chili does not have beans. We had that for Christmas. My stepmom put beans in it. It's wrong. It's not right. Being a former UH-1 crew chief, I love watching Huey DCS. Too bad they don't have door gunners to have the extra threat contact out. They do have door gunners. Yeah, they do. When going into a real mission, would you know where the ground threats are located? You should. If Intel's doing what they're supposed to do. Do you play any instruments? No. No, I'm not musical at all. Potatoes with lasers. Yeah, Steve B is, hey man, if you're Elon Musk, call me. Do something. Come to Warbirds over Wanaka, sure. Short answers is a fighter pilot thing. They don't have the luxury of time up in the air. Yeah, clear, concise, correct, 3-1 com. What do you want from me? Okay. I think I finally caught up. Do you think it's time to get a moderator? Yeah, Doug sometimes does it. However, I thought T3 was actually pretty entertaining. I mean, that was one that I actually would like to have because, like, some trolls, okay, they're a little annoying, but trolls that would, no kidding, Okay, I just got an email from Randy. He says one more for the drawing. No. You have to go to the link in the description and actually sign up. Emailing me will not get you in the drawing. So please don't email me. Anyway. On the way back from my son's wedding in Houston, congratulations or condolences, whichever way it goes. My mom loved the Texas Air Aces episode. Yeah, there's one more. I got one more I'm going to make, and then that's it. Anyway. How do you get the comments on screen so fast? It's StreamYard. I'm just reading the comments on here on the right. Has Gonky written any books? No, Gonky's not written any books, dude. Gonky can't. No. Gonky can barely write. Anything you've wanted to make a video topic about but not made so far? Oh, there's plenty. Plenty. I just want to laugh at this dude's username. And, Jeff, is this you? Where the white women at? Pimpin' since... it's blocked. Since something pimpin'. That is awesome. I've not done the boat. I answer that every single question. All right, last one. GE versus Pratt. Definitely GE. More thrusties, more reliable, better engine. Always. And the F-35's running into the same problem. Okay, that's enough. That is 2 hours and 3 minutes. Oh, wait for it. Wait for it. 2 hours and 4 minutes, 2:04. Harumph. We have done enough for today. I think the rain has finally passed. I can take the doggies for a walk. And that's all I'll have to say about that. Don't forget to use the prize code MOVER. Click the link in the description below for the, was it the Lightspeed thing? Let me do that. Bam, Lightspeed. There you go. Also, you can sign up for Heli Expo, but guess what? If you didn't register by January 14th, you're not going to save. So I'm sorry. That sucks. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I've always had fun, as usual. See you next time. We'll do another one. And be safe. See ya.